Men, and I use the term loosely. Made good progress yesterday. Cams are in, cases are both together, flywheels are trued. Very, very good so far. I forget what day this is into this project. There was a bunch of the cleaning and stuff like that I didn't video at all because, parts washers and sandblasters just, don't do it for video. For me, anyway. I'm ready to prime the oil pump on this one. So let's get that done. And if you watch my videos, you've seen this before. Letting the oil dribble down and fill the tube. That looks like it should be good. I could already see the oil being drawn down. Put a little more in there. Okay, oil's coming up in the feed lines to the rocker boxes. Let's plug these holes. And we're going to empty the funnel out and just pump all the oil that's in there into the motor. Okay, funnel is empty. You might be able to see the oil moving down the tube. And that'll do it. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do today is finish taking this trans apart, cleaning it up, and put the trans together. So we're going to knock out the bearing. We're going to knock out the clutch gear. Look at the free play in this bearing. That's just crazy. So we're going to do that. And I might, if I really get lucky, put a new ratchet plate on the clutch hub. The ball carrier is coming out so that I can clean it up and put new springs in it. This bolt's going to get drilled for safety wire. It's just the thing I do. And when I safety wire it, I'm going to safety wire it to the detent plunger. these pawl carriers. I've seen them crack right across here, break right in two. Not a good thing. Okay, this shaft and this bearing are junk, so we don't care what happens to them. And as much as I hate doing it, you know, this is going in a garbage can. And this is going in a garbage can too. I think I mentioned in the one of the earlier videos when I was kind of doing the quick evaluation on the trans that I just changed the springs in the pawl carrier just because you know, this is 60 years old, and this is not uncommon. I pull the shifter pawl out, and one spring came out in 3 pieces. Actually 4 pieces. There's another piece down in here. This is not uncommon. You get a trans that's not shifting right very often. These springs will be jacked up. So new springs coming, and these go in the garbage. Okay, the bearing is loose. I get a dimple all around here with the center punch. I'm going to raise welts that'll help hold that. Yeah. You should be able to see what I've done here. Some people will say tremendous waste of time, but you know, you gotta kind of play the hand you're dealt. Loctite 620. Two new springs. Yeah, let's see. Let's put a little grease on almost everything. to get this in that hole, I am going to walk it over to the hydraulic press. I use this square tube because the shaft fits in there nicely. The tube lines up on the inner race so that when I'm pressing it, I'm not exerting any force on the balls. So I'm going to go press this in back in a minute. So let's put a counter shaft together. And that's the counter shaft assembled. So let's put a main shaft together. This area here is essentially the inner bearing race. This has to be almost perfect. If this is dicked up, you need a new shaft. An Andrews shaft is, I believe, around $300. So transmission work gets pretty expensive pretty quick. This is the main shaft third gear. This snap ring is really a bitch to get off. I really don't take this gear off unless I have some specific reason to. Okay, and here is the main shaft second gear. This is an Andrews gear. I think this was about $150. But I mean, look at this. This is a gem. Look at the quality of this thing. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Nice. Alright, so we got a counter shaft put together, a main shaft put together, ball carriers put together, the bearing is in, the clutch gear is in. We're ready to assemble this transmission for the first time and see how the shifter fork clearances are. Let's put a transmission together. There's probably lots of ways to do it, but this is how I do it. You get it to this point, you just pop the counter shaft group in, you get the counter shaft third gear shifter fork, you put it in, you get the main shaft second gear and its corresponding shifter fork, and you weasel the shifter fork into position. Once you got the shifter fork in, you can put the shifter fork shaft in. You got to get it to line up with the hole on the trap door. Once that's in, you just, get it in there all the way. Take you take your main shaft second gear, you slip it into the fork. And then you get your main shaft in, and then you drop your counter shaft low gear on. And that's it. What I'm looking for is the distance between the clutch gear and the main shaft second gear, and the clearance between the main shaft second gear and the main shaft third gear. And that looks really good. That's nice. Then we'll go over to the counter shaft side, and I'm looking for the clearance between the counter shaft second and the counter shaft third gear, and that's pretty good. What isn't good is the clearance between the counter shaft low gear and the counter shaft third gear. These are, actually I can make them touch. If there's a little free play in the forks and all that, I can make them touch. That's not good. What you might want to do, or what some guys would consider doing, is getting that would take a longer shifter fork to move the third gear away from the low gear, but then it would be too close to the second gear. So the other option is these washers come in different thicknesses. So I'm going to get a thicker one in there. The problem with doing that is it might make it hard to adjust the end play on the counter shaft. If this washer gets too thick, I'm going to need to find a really thin thrust washer, counter shaft thrust washer. So there's a limit to how far you can go. But anyway, I'm going to get a thicker one of these, and we're going to test fit it all in the trans and see if it works. I've had this trans in and out of the crankcase sitting over here to the right. You can't quite see it. Several times. And why, you may ask? Why? Because I was experimenting with different thicknesses of thrust washers. I've got the washers I want, so we're going to put this trans together. Hopefully for the last time, I'm going to grease everything up and shove it in there, and it'll be good to go. At least I would hope anyway. We're going to grease everything. The shaft has already been greased. We're going to drop it in. Alright, we're going to give it the final, before it's installed, shifting test. Lining the dogs up for first gear. Goes right in. Lining the dogs up for second gear. Not quite lined up. Second gear goes right in. Lining the dogs up for third gear. Goes right in. Lining the dogs up for fourth gear. Goes right in. We'll go back down to third. We'll go back down to second. We'll go into neutral. And neutral. And we'll go to first one more time just because. First. And then back to neutral. Alright. Very happy with the way this shifts. We're going to bolt it in. Nice. I think I got it. Just gonna snug up a couple of bolts real quick. Okay, so was that 5 minutes? There were several hours worth of work to get to that last 5 minutes. It's getting a little late. I'm going to be shutting down operations for a week or 10 days. Going on vacation. I'm going to try to get this ratchet gear changed out tonight. Did I say ratchet gear? Ratchet plate swapped out. Take it over to the drill press and drill it. I did a horrible job of center punching those. So the question is, did I manage to remove enough material close enough to the center that I'll be able to knock the shanks out? One ratchet plate. All gone. Yeah, I thought I had the camera on, but I guess I didn't. The rivet drops into the countersink. The head of this little anvil I got drops into what's left of the countersink, and that sort of keeps it aligned. You have to back the head of the rivet up or it won't drive tightly. Anyway, you got the idea. And with that, I am out of here. Done for the day. Getting ready to leave for vacation tomorrow. I'm not going to touch a tool in, I don't know, 10 days maybe. So, get yourself a sticker. Get yourself a coffee cup. Join me on Patreon if you feel like it. Otherwise, just please subscribe. We'll see you later. This motor is a lot closer to being done than it looks like. Trans is in and done. Cams are in and done. I got to bore some cylinders. I got to do a valve job. I got to fit some tappet blocks. Some kickstart parts. But the hard part is pretty much over. Y'all take it easy. We'll see you next time. Bye.